Hello, welcome to the Little House Handmaids channel. My name is Charlotte, and this is your place to find how-to videos on different knitting stitches and steps, and also other various crafts. Welcome, hope you enjoyed today's video. Okay, I have my first couple rows that we did for our sampler scarf, and I've cut the yarn, leaving a tail for the purple yarn. So I had cut that off, and I'm going to show you how to add a different color in to do a stripe of a contrasting color. So I have white, and I'm going to make a loop with my yarn, and then pick up the loop and knit it. Now I'm going to work both strands, the working strand and the tail, for the first 2 stitches. That just makes it works that in and holds it nice and tight. But I'm going to take the tail from my cut yarn and loop it over. I'm not going to make the stitch with it. I'm just going to loop it over the yarn to hold it into place. Knit my stitch. Now I'm going to drop this tail. I'm actually going to hold it with the other yarn, the other tail. I'm going to take my working yarn, knit a stitch, flip these tails up and go under them to knit the next stitch. This is a way that I like to weave in my tails a little bit so I don't have as many to come back. Oops, I did the wrong thing there. I flip it up but not in front. Flip it up and take my working yarn under it. That's what I do. Then I can slip it back. Then hold it over, take my yarn over top of it, and work the next row. That's weaving those ends in as I go. So flip them up over the working yarn, so take the working yarn under them, and over, and knit my stitch. Take these over, so I can take my working yarn and work them in. This gets my tails woven in, so I don't have tails to come back and weave in later. Now I'm getting down toward the end for that purple, and I'll probably just let the white hang there too. The purple's not going to go anymore. I might have to come back and trim some of that very end off that hangs out. I'll do this for this first row here. My long needles are scraping the desk, and that's what's making the noise. I'm not used to working with straight needles so much anymore. I prefer my circular needles, but for this I'm using them. Okay, I'm going to just let that tail hang down the back, and I'll trim it off later and finish knitting my row in the white. And this has successfully changed my color from the purple to the white, so I'm going to have a white stripe here. Now, when I turn it over, you can see on the wrong side that this makes a purple stripe here and a white stripe under. That's how you know which is the right side and which is the wrong side. So the right side has a nice, neat change of color. The wrong side lets a different stripe in there. So, but I'm going to go ahead and knit back across with the white and knit several rows of white. There we go. Just a few more. Now I'm back to where I did those 2 stitches with both strands, and so I want to make sure I do both strands together. So I'm not increasing the number of stitches in total. I'm keeping that same number. So I did those two together and I'm back to my beginning loop. So now I can do several rows back and forth to make a stripe. I will work a few more and I'll be right back and show you. Okay, I just finished knitting a wrong side row. I did 8 rows because it made about the width of a stripe that I wanted. And so you can see I have my wrong side because it has this little white stripe down here. I am going to just trim off these excess little ends from my tails that we wove in on the first there. So you can see that I've got this stripe done. So now I want to switch colors again and do another stripe. So I take my original yarn, and this one I'm not going to cut the white tail off. I'm going to show you how I'm going to carry it up the side because I am going to do a border around the edge eventually when I get done. So sometimes this first stitch will pull a little big on the previous yarn. The loop gets a little big, you can tighten it back down, just pull the working yarn from the color before. Don't forget to take my tail and weave it in. So I am switching out to my next thing. I'm weaving the purple tail in that I just joined by flipping it up and over my working yarn in the back. Remember, when knit stitches, the yarn stays working in the back, and when I'm weaving this tail in, I am flipping it up and over that working yarn to keep it catching and weaving it in as I go. There, we're getting down toward the end of it. We'll stop it there and finish this first row. So that's how you do your switching your color to make the stripe. Now I'm going to work another stripe here. I'm pause the video and I'll work my stripe in knit rows again. Now this one I did 8 rows, so I'm going to do this one 8 rows. So I have 1 row done. Notice I started the yarn on the right side again. So when I'm doing a right side row, that the stripes will look nice and neat. So I will pause this and be back when I get a couple this stripe done and show you how I carry the yarn up the side. Okay, I worked my row back again on the wrong side, and so now I'm ready to do a right side row. Now when I want to carry this yarn along up the side so it doesn't get left down here at the white when I want to do the next white row, I just take my purple yarn that I'm going to be working, what's kind of changing colors to more of a, I don't know, boysenberry color maybe, but it is, I take it under that white yarn and then work it behind it. And what this does, let me just put a couple stitches in and then show you. It catches the yarn and brings it up the side a bit so that it's not a big loop left along the edge. And then we'll work another row, and when I come back again, I'll loop it up again and keep working. So I'm going to do several stripes like this. You can do as many stripes as you like in yours, or you can do no stripes. It just depends what you would like. If you'd like to keep it at the garter stitch, go and just do the garter stitch, doing the knit on both sides. It's up to you.